welcome back to BT. It's been a pretty exciting morning on the show and getting down to business. If you're trying to eat on a budget this summer, Desiree Nielsen, a registered dietitian, is joining us on BT to teach us about some tricks that you can do at the grocery store or in other unknown places for food, and also 3 meals that all cost significantly less than $10. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So what are some things that we can do to make sure that we go to the grocery store and get things that are more affordable and healthy?
You know, and I'm so passionate about this because as a dietitian, one of the first things people say to me is it's too expensive to eat healthfully, but some of the most basic staples that are the healthiest are also the cheapest. And I think that's one of the key messages, is to not buy meals and snacks, but to buy ingredients and roll up your sleeves a little bit. So instead of buying baby carrots, buy field carrots. We have a salad.
Great carrots? How? No.
I know. Great carrots, or have to wash them? Sacrilege. But it takes 20 seconds and it will save you a ton of money. I got 2 pounds of organic carrots for $3.
Wow.
So it's a lot of food for a family. And then, you know, BC field spinach, we normally buy those clamshells, which are awesome if you're in a rush and want to make it easy. But a big bunch of BC field spinach was $2. So enough to feed a family versus, you know, $6 or $7 in some stores to get the little clamshell.
And is it safe to say then, if you hunt around and find a place where you can find your, you know, your organic carrots, you can go back to that place again and again and guarantee that you're going to find a good deal? And
to know, you know, and I live on the east side, so I got to shout out, you know, Donald's Market, my hood grocery store. They have amazing prices, right? No affiliation. I just love them. They have great prices on a lot of these health food things, often like 20–30% cheaper. But also for people looking for produce, because they're like, produce is really getting me. Sunrise Produce over on Gore, amazing. Like once I got this massive kohlrabi, which was like $8 at a health food store, and it was $1.50. So know your green grocers, the places that turn over. They might not look as fancy, but you can get amazing stuff way cheaper.
Can we have a little nibble of what you've got first here? And again, these are all 3 meals for under $10 each.
Yeah, so this beauty, this is something I've been eating forever. This is like old school health food stuff.
Bit of a tofu scramble, sort of?
It's a carrot tofu scramble. I think I got it from like the Vegetarian Times cookbook, like when I was a teenager. The sweetness of the carrots, ginger, garlic, soy sauce. It's like a 5-ingredient meal. And tofu is such a great way, you know, animal products, butter, meat, cheese, very, very expensive. You can get a brick of tofu for $3.50 and there's 45 grams of protein in it.
Is it okay to not have more than 1 vegetable in a meal?
You know what? It really is. You know, you could absolutely doctor it up, but if you want to keep it simple, like this comes together in less than 30 minutes, and one of the reasons why is because you're just grating carrots, you're not doing a ton of chopping. And you're going to get other fruits and veggies throughout the day, too.
Sure we are. Yeah.
You're like, maybe this might be the only one.
Stick them in a smoothie. What's this one?
Right.
Oh, wait, how much did that one cost?
So this was $7, including organic carrots, organic tofu.
Okay.
And that's taking into account you already have salt and pepper. So I'm not counting the olive oil or salt and pepper, but all of the fresh purchased ingredients.
I'll forgive you for that. Okay.
Yeah.
What's in this one?
So this was a Tuscan-inspired pasta. So a little bit of lacinato kale, which is a bit sweeter than the really curly kale, and some white beans, which have a buttery, creamy texture. Really high in fiber. This one came together for $7.25. Lots of lemon, garlic, salt, and pepper. And if you want, you could grate a little Parmigiano on there if you do that.
I know that a lot of people are scared of kale. If it's cooked, it tastes way better than if it's not cooked.
Yeah, and I have to say, even this one, I undercooked a little bit because it looks nicer on camera. But this is a really beautiful, I call it beginner kale, because it is a little bit sweeter. It's not as rough. It has a nice texture. You shred it. I even left the stems in to avoid food waste, and that's another money-saving tip. There's a lot of good food we throw away, like carrot tops, for example. You can turn that into a pesto. Add them to veggie balls or meatballs. The stems of kale, that's good, healthy food. Why throw it away? If it's too crunchy, you can just pull it out, give it a saute like you would onions and garlic at the beginning of the meal, and that'll soften it down even more.
I'm going to sound really silly right now. What are those? I don't even know what that is.
Mung beans.
Oh, I always wondered what those were.
And you know,
there we go.
Particularly, like I got this can of beans for $1.50. If you really want to save even more money, soak your own beans. It's literally pennies. And I call it, you know, you throw in a movie, soak your beans, cook your beans off, throw them in the freezer in recipe-sized portions, and they're ready to go. I call it
Excuse me.
Netflix and bean soaking. It's a thing.
All right, one final meal here for under $10. What's this one?
So this one came in at $7.50, slightly higher, you know, because more veggies, a few more expensive plant foods. This is a classic spinach salad. Like the 90s are back, and I'm bringing the 90s back in food. So this is where I use that field spinach instead of baby spinach. So $2 for a massive bunch of spinach. If you're,
excuse me, I'm choking on kale.
Oh no!
Oh.
Sometimes it gets stuck. Pumpkin seeds, a little dressing. I showed it dry here, but a little dressing out of some lemon, olive oil, a little bit of Dijon mustard, and then these are balsamic marinated shallots. Take shallots, which are sweeter than onions, a little bit of flavor, add balsamic vinegar, salt, and sugar, and marinate them, and it takes the sting out of them, but it gives this rich flavor that just pumps it up a little bit.
Absolutely delicious. Thank you so much for your tips. Can I eat these now for breakfast?
They are yours.
Coming up next on BT, clear my throat of kale.